Welcome back, everybody, to Math 1351. Today we're looking at Chapter 12, Section 1, Congruence Through Construction. This is the homework assignments. Okay, first one. First question. What does the question say? If triangle FIT is congruent, that's at 2 lines of the squiggle, to triangle MUG. Remember, congruent means all sides and all angles are the same. They're just carbon copies of each other. If these two angles are triangles are the same, determine which parts of A through C, if any, are necessarily true to explain why. First question. Okay, what this one says here, remember, we had triangle FIT. It could be any triangle. And then the second triangle is MUG. Now, since they're congruent, they have to have, so this length and this length has to be the same. This length and this length has to be the same. This length and this length has to be the same. So, now, is line segment FT the same as MG? Yes. Since they're congruent triangles, that means the corresponding sides are congruent. So, yes. First one's yes. Is angle I congruent to angle M? In other words, is this angle the same as this angle? No, we can't say that because all we know is this angle F is the same as angle M. Angle I is the same as angle U. So no, we can't say anything about that. Now the last one. Is line segment IT congruent to line segment MU? So is line segment IT, that's this one, congruent to line segment MU? Again, now we can't say anything because this side is congruent to this side. So we can't say anything. They could be, but then again, they don't have to be. All right. Let's look at the next one. Name two congruent triangles in the accompanying figure by writing a symbolic congruence, using that little symbol, the equal sign with a squiggle on top, and tell the name of the course congruence. All right, so here we have. What do we know? So A, determine the congruent triangles. Triangle GHU. Not GHI. GHJ, that's J, sorry. GHJ. So it's going from there, away from this, so it's IJH. So it's triangle IJH. Because it starts from here, starts with G, goes to H, goes to the small triangle, the small angle, and then down to the 90-degree angle. So it goes from there to there. It has to be the same directions. Determine the corresponding congruent sides. So GH is going from that to there. You can say IJ or JI, since these two sides are congruent. Okay. Since I'm going to top, I might do top up. GJ, that's going from that side one to the 90-degree. That's the same one as HI. It's going from left to right, left to right. Or you can say IH if you want. And then HJ. HJ is the same as HJ or JH. But that's an obvious truth. Determine the corresponding congruent angles. So angle G has to be congruent to angle I. triangle GHJ is congruent to IJH. And then HJG is congruent to JHI. It's going down to the 90-degree angle away, to 90-degree away. The triangles are congruent by, well, we know that these sides are congruent, this side's congruent, and these have to be congruent. So it's by the congruence of side, side, side. I'm sorry, no, I jumped the gun here. Hold it. I'm sorry. We know that, but by looking at this, we have side, angle, side, or side. Yeah, that doesn't work. So side, angle, side. So I'm sorry, it's side, angle, side. Because even though we know they have to be the same, our picture tells us that we know this side and this side, we know that angle is the same. It didn't tell us anything about that, even though we can tell it has to be the same. So our picture, since this and this are defined, and this is defined in our picture, it's a side, angle, side. All right. Next one. Number 3. A truss used in a house construction trusses the roof of your house. Construction is to strengthen the roof is shown below. Name 2 congruent triangles and tell why they're congruent. Okay, we have the first one. We have ABD. We can't do ABC because C is another triangle, so it's ABD. So it's out to B and then down. So it's CBD. And they're congruent because this length and that length have to be the same. They're both 20. They have the same angle, and this length here has to be the same. So it's side, angle, side. All right. Let's look at number 4. Given 2 triangles below, are they necessarily congruent? Explain why or not. We have angle, 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 angle. Okay, no, because the angles could be the same. In other words, I can have a triangle that looks like this, or I can have a triangle that looks like this. There could be isosceles triangles, or equilateral triangles. In other words, they could all be the same size, but the same angles, all 60 degrees, but the sides are different. So, no, it's not sufficient congruence. One triangle is larger than another. Number 5. For what kind of triangle will the perpendicular bisectors on the sides intersect in the exterior of the triangles? That's an interesting question. Where will the perpendicular bisectors, remember, a perpendicular bisector, if I have a triangle, a perpendicular bisector is at the midpoint, halfway between these 2 endpoints. Halfway between it, that's the midpoint. So it's got to be perpendicular to it. So it's got to create a 90-degree angle. This midpoint to that, perpendicular bisector, it's got to have a 90-degree angle. So that's what the question is asking. A perpendicular bisector is when you have the length of a side, find the midpoint, and then draw a perpendicular line to it. Now, which ones will be exterior? Find the kind of triangle that will have perpendicular bisectors on the sides intersect exterior triangles. Where will the triangles, the perpendicular bisectors, where will they intersect outside the triangle? Let's see the first one. If we have a right triangle, here we have two sets. So we have one perpendicular bisector there, another one there. That's on the inside, and likewise in the last one. So that one's okay. Scaling. A right triangle is a triangle that has a 90-degree angle. A scaling triangle is a triangle where all three sides are different lengths. That's a scaling. Alright, so we do that one. Look at the perpendicular bisector of that one. Perpendicular bisector of that one. Okay, that one pretty close to that, but that's inside there still also. Obtuse. An obtuse triangle is where one angle is greater than 90 degrees. Obtuse is one angle is greater than 90 degrees. So the perpendicular bisector of that angle there. So far, the obtuse triangle gives us a intersecting points of our perpendicular bisectors is outside the triangle. It's exterior of the triangle. Acute triangle is where all the angles are less than 90 degrees. So all those are going to intersect inside. So the obtuse triangle is our answer. It's where all the perpendicular bisectors. Remember, if we find a line between A and B, the midpoint is halfway between A and B, and draw a line perpendicular to it. That's perpendicular bisector. So, alright, answer for question 5 is obtuse. Okay, question number 6. Let's see this. For what parts A and B, construct the given triangle and choose the best response. A. Use any tool to draw a triangle A, B, and C. In which, so we have A, B, and C. So A, in which BC is greater than AC. So AC could be this, but BC has to be longer. So triangle A, B, and C, ABC, in which BC, the length of BC, is greater than the length of AC. Measure the angles opposite of BC. So the angle, here's BC, the angle opposite is angle A. The angle opposite of AC is angle B. So what do we know? We know that the measure of angle A, and here's the measure of angle B. What can we say about it? Is this one bigger than this one? Yes. Whenever the opposite length is greater, then we're going to have the corresponding angle has to be greater. Because if this is a longer length, it has to be bigger to open up for that angle. The closer the lines are together, the smaller the angle. So if I had a line that's this long, that corresponding angle is very small. If I had a length that long, it has to have a bigger angle to open it. So we know that angle A, measure of angle A is bigger than angle B. They're not equal, but if they're equal, then that won't answer our question. Wouldn't be satisfied BC is bigger than AB. So it's C. The first one is C. Measure of angle A is bigger than measure of angle B. Based on your finding, make a conjecture concerning the lengths of sides and the measures of angles in a triangle. Choose the best response. The side lesser length is associated to the angle of greater measures. Lesser length, lesser angle. Greater length, the side of greater length is opposite the angle of greater So it's got to be this way. So the bigger the length, the opposite angle is the greater. All right, number 7. Draw a line M and mark 2 points, A and B on the line. We got those here. So we have a line, and we have A and B. Then use only a compass and a straight edge to construct point C on M so that AC and BC are equal. In other words, they want to be in midpoint. So the length of AC is equal to the length of BC. Describe how C can be found. Point C can be found as an intersection of the lines of the perpendicular. Yes, there you go. A perpendicular bisector. Because perpendicular bisector. Remember, the first thing we have to do is we have a line segment. We have to find the midpoint. So that's how we do it. The way we would do it is the way we would find it is we take a compass. I wish I had my compass with me, but I'll do that in the lecture part. But by definition, the perpendicular bisector is through the midpoint. So this means AC is equal to AB or BC. It can't be on any point perpendicular. So that's 7. Number 8. This is the last one. Name 2 congruent triangles in the figure and tell why they're congruent. Okay, the only thing we know here is we know that this length, AB, and CB are the same length. We know AD and CD are the same length. But by looking at the picture, since B and D are the shared side, this has to be the same length. So we have ABD is equal to CBD. ABD is equal to CBD. Because they both share side BD. So it's A to B, C, and then let's see that. And that, since we know all 3 sides, that's side, side, side. We don't know anything about the angles. But because the lengths are the same size, that means the angles have to be the same side. All right, I hope that helped. Good luck, everybody.